isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. We don't stop playing because we grow old, we grow old because we stop playing. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Better keep yourself clean and bright, you are the window through which you must see the world. Beware of false knowledge, it is more dangerous than ignorance. I learned long ago, never to wrestle with the pig. You get dirty, and besides, the pig likes it. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. There is no sincerer love than the love of food. You see things, and you say why? But I dream things that never were, and they say why not? Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you will what you imagine, and at last you create what you will. You use a glass mirror to see your face, you use works of art to see your soul. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. A government that robs Peter to pay Paul can always depend on the support of Paul. We are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. Democracy is a device that ensures we shall be governed no better than we deserve. Youth is wasted on the young. A fool's brain digests philosophy into folly, science into superstition, and art into pedantry. Hence university education. A happy family is but an earlier heaven. Patriotism is your conviction that this country is superior to all others because you were born in it. Take care to get what you like, or you will be forced to like what you get. A gentleman is one who puts more into the world than he takes out. The power of accurate observation is commonly called cynicism by those who have not got it. If all the economists were laid end to end, they'd never reach a conclusion. No man ever believes that the Bible means what it says, he is always convinced that it says what he means. Silence is the most perfect expression of scorn. The worst sin toward our fellow creatures is not to hate them, but to be indifferent to them. That's the essence of inhumanity. The best place to find God is in a garden. You can dig for him there. Without art, the crudeness of reality would make the world unbearable. The great advantage of a hotel is that it is a refuge from home life. Liberty means responsibility. That is why most men dread it. The secret to success is to offend the greatest number of people. The liar's punishment is not in the least that he is not believed, but that he cannot believe anyone else. If history repeats itself, and the unexpected always happens, how incapable must man be of learning from experience? All great truths begin as blasphemies. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. Marriage is an alliance entered into by a man who can't sleep with the window shut, and a woman who can't sleep with the window open. Alcohol is the anesthesia by which we endure the operation of life. Youth is a wonderful thing. What a crime to waste it on children. Democracy substitutes election by the incompetent many for appointment by the corrupt few. Just do what must be done. This may not be happiness, but it is greatness. It is the mark of a truly intelligent person to be moved by statistics. We have no more right to consume happiness without producing it than to consume wealth without producing it. Success does not consist in never making mistakes but in never making the same one a second time. We should all be obliged to appear before a board every 5 years and justify our existence, on pain of liquidation. Clever and attractive women do not want to vote, they are willing to let men govern as long as they govern men. There is nothing more dangerous than the conscience of a bigot. Kings are not born, they are made by artificial hallucination. It is dangerous to be sincere unless you are also stupid. Life does not cease to be funny when people die any more than it ceases to be serious when people laugh. If you cannot get rid of the family skeleton, you may as well make it dance. When a man wants to murder a tiger he calls it sport, when a tiger wants to murder him he calls it ferocity. There is only one religion, though there are 100 versions of it. Lack of money is the root of all evil. You cannot be a hero without being a coward. Science never solves a problem without creating 10 more. The moment we want to believe something, we suddenly see all the arguments for it, and become blind to the arguments against it. Love is a gross exaggeration of the difference between one person and everybody else. I enjoy convalescence. It is the part that makes the illness worthwhile. There are 2 tragedies in life. One is to lose your heart's desire. The other is to gain it. When a man says money can do anything, that settles it, he hasn't got any. The possibilities are numerous once we decide to act and not react. Property is organized robbery. Use your health, even to the point of wearing it out. That is what it is for. Spend all you have before you die. Do not outlive yourself. Independence. That's middle-class blasphemy. We are all dependent on one another, every soul of us on earth. Every man over 40 is a scoundrel. I'm an atheist and I thank God for it. It is a curious sensation, the sort of pain that goes mercifully beyond our powers of feeling. When your heart is broken, your boats are burned, nothing matters anymore. It is the end of happiness and the beginning of peace. When I was young, I observed that 9 out of 10 things I did were failures. So I did 10 times more work. If you're not producing as much as you consume, or perhaps a little more, then clearly we cannot use the big organization of our society for the purpose of keeping you alive. Because your life does not benefit us, and it can't be of very much use to yourself. Peace is not only better than war, but infinitely more arduous. Dancing is a perpendicular expression of a horizontal desire. Few people think more than 2 or 3 times a year. I have made an international reputation for myself by thinking once or twice a week. I never resist temptation, because I have found that things that are bad for me do not tempt me. An election is a moral horror, as bad as a battle except for the blood, a mud bath for every soul concerned in it. He knows nothing and thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career. In socialism, private property is anathema, and equal distribution of income the first consideration. In capitalism, private property is cardinal, and distribution left to ensue from the play of free contract and selfish interest on that basis, no matter what anomalies it may present. Old men are dangerous. It doesn't matter to them what is going to happen to the world. Virtue is insufficient temptation. No question is so difficult to answer as that to which the answer is obvious. The only secrets are the secrets that keep themselves. Power does not corrupt men, fools. However, if they get into a position of power, corrupt power. I often quote myself. It adds spice to my conversation. First love is only a little foolishness and a lot of curiosity. The love of economy is the root of all virtue. When a stupid man is doing something he is ashamed of, he always declares that it is his duty. In heaven an angel is nobody, in particular. Socialism is the same as communism, only better English. Miracles, in the sense of phenomena we cannot explain, surround us on every hand. Life itself is the miracle of miracles. I dislike feeling at home when I am abroad. The fickleness of the women I love is only equaled by the infernal constancy of the women who love me. Everything happens to everybody sooner or later if there is time enough. Life levels all men. Death reveals the imminent. Why should we take advice on sex from the Pope? If he knows anything about it, he shouldn't. Hegel was right when he said that we learn from history that man can never learn anything from history. The only way to avoid being miserable is not to have enough leisure to wonder whether you are happy or not. Give a man health and a course to steer, and he'll never stop to trouble about whether he's happy or not. He who can, does. He who cannot, teaches. The man with a toothache thinks everyone happy whose teeth are sound. The poverty-stricken man makes the same mistake about the rich man. Capitalism has destroyed our belief in any effective power but that of self-interest backed by force. Capitalism has destroyed our belief in any effective power but that of self-interest backed by force. Human beings are the only animals of which I am thoroughly and cravenly afraid. The minority is sometimes right, the majority always wrong. What we want is to see the child in pursuit of knowledge, and not knowledge in pursuit of the child. Statistics show that of those who contract the habit of eating, very few survive. I have to live for others and not for myself. That's middle-class morality. Syllables govern the world. You can always tell an old soldier by the inside of his holsters and cartridge boxes. The young ones carry pistols and cartridges